with the addition of Luka, I can see LeBron playing another 2 years, Karan.
I could see him actually playing with two of his sons on that roster. I wouldn't be surprised, and a lot of people are like, oh, damn, I totally forgot about Bryce. But that makes the most sense to me in the world.
Shannon Sharpe talks about LeBron James retiring. Check out what he had to say, and then I'll come back with my comments.
LeBron still isn't ready to make a decision about his NBA future 1 week after the Lakers lost. I haven't had a conversation with the family yet as far as me going forward or whatever the case may be, but we'll see what happens. LeBron has a $52.6 million player option for next season. Karan, do you think he'll pick it up? Does he opt out? Take less money to try to get more help? What do you see LeBron doing?
Yeah, I think LeBron's going to stay. There's reports that he may try to negotiate and maybe take $10 million less. So that means he's going to rework his deal. And if you're LeBron James, you have an opportunity to at least be competitive in the Western Conference. He hasn't had a team like this in a few seasons, probably that championship season. So, yeah, they may be a better team defensively with Anthony Davis. But right now, offensively, they're kind of elite, but they may need some more help. LeBron James can only do so much. He's not a GOAT, and he's not Michael Jordan, so we can't expect LeBron James to carry the load on offense. If Luka's on the bench, if Luka's injured, they're going to struggle. So the Lakers, they're going to have to use that $10 million LeBron is giving back, maybe trade some players, and try to get a marquee talent to help Luka and LeBron James move past the Western Conference.
I think that he's going to do whatever's best for the organization, because I think that they have a great collaboration over there, and they did go get Luka, and I think that he's in constant communication just from an observation standpoint with Rob Pelinka, and everyone's on the same page. He's pretty much having his way, with Bronny being over there in the roster that he's been wanting to build out ever since he's been in Los Angeles. And I think once you get Luka committed, then you can go down that pecking order and, check the other boxes. And if it is some space for flexibility and you might need him to opt out to take less or whatever for the better good of the team, then you do that. But I think the ball is in his court. Like, LeBron, he's earned the right to do exactly what the hell he want to do. Mm-hmm. And I think they're going to work with him in every capacity to make sure everything works and they don't check those boxes.
Yeah, if you're LeBron James, do everything in your power to help the Lakers. They did everything in their power to draft Bronny. The hit that they took in the media, especially on YouTube, the content creators, they're still getting bashed for that. How does Bronny James get an opportunity to play basketball when he's not even a draft pick? But you got players like Quincy Oliveri that can't even make a G League roster, and he's better than Bronny James. So they've done a lot for LeBron, and it's time for LeBron James to take a pay cut. If I'm LeBron James, I'll try to make the lowest possible. If it's $10 million, $20 million, whatever, try to do everything in your power, not only to give them $10 million back, give them more, because that could be the difference between getting a decent level player and an all-star caliber talent. LeBron James, he needs to help the Lakers out to the best of his abilities.
LeBron averaged 24.5 points a game, 8.2 assists, 7.8 rebounds per game in his 21st NBA season. I think Vince Carter had averaged the most points. I think he averaged like 7 in his 21st season. With the addition of Luka, I can see LeBron playing another 2 years, Karan.
I could see him actually playing with two of his sons on that roster. I wouldn't be surprised, and a lot of people are like, oh, damn, I totally forgot about Bryce, but that makes the most sense to me in the world, that he would wait to, he only got 1 year probably that he's going to do at the university, where he's going to Arizona or something. Yeah, Arizona. So he do a year there, he jumped ship, and now he on the Laker or in the league and playing against his dad and brother. I mean, more history to be made this following season. And then obviously they have a realistic shot at competing for a title, being one of those top 6 or 7 teams again going into next season. So, and then you can ride into the sunset however you feel like it. But LeBron is definitely capable of playing at least the way he's going now, at least another 2 to 3 years at a high level. Because I don't know how significant the knee injury is, but he's never had injuries, and he takes good care of himself. So, and plus here, like, he's just I was ahead of everyone from a mental standpoint.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. If the Lakers draft Bryce James, I think they don't even care what the media is gonna say, because if they took that big of a hit with drafting Bronny and you draft Bryce, I don't know about that. Now, if Bryce goes off in college and looks great, cool, but in high school, he didn't really look that good. He looked decent compared to probably people in his age group, but if you try to rank him throughout the world or whatever, he's not really going to be high ranking. So maybe things can change in college, and if the Lakers draft Bryce James, LeBron might as well play for free for the next 3 or 4 years after that. Be that 50-year-old just so they can have a lot of tickets and run up that bag. So I ain't gonna lie, I don't know if the Lakers will do that. I think they did that for him and Bronny. I don't think they're gonna do that again and draft his other son, Bryce, but you never know. The Lakers, they're a huge franchise. They know that it's going to put a lot of butts in those seats. To have an opportunity to watch all three of them on the court at the same time with Luka, that's going to be a sight to see. So LeBron, he can still play at an elite level, or at least at this level for another year or two. But if he's not going to play good on defense, if he's going to have lapses out there, if he's going to shrink in the fourth quarter, does he really want to put himself through that? Be bounced out in the first round, sweep or gentleman's sweep? That's something to think about as well. So he can be great at 41 or 42, but if he's going to get bounced out every single first round, I don't know if LeBron James wants to go through that.
And I think you know, them taking him off the ball, letting Luka be the primary ball handler, letting AR be the primary ball handler, so that's less wear and tear in his body, so he can dive and cut. He's added a three-point shot to his bag, so now he's about to be top 5 in the NBA in three-point shots, and that's how you stay a long time. Because when you have a particular time, let's think about it. LeBron has gone like 2 to 3 different eras of basketball, and he's evolved.
Yeah.
The greatest trick to survival, the greatest key to survival is adaptability. His ability to adapt to the type, because this is what LeBron was, a get to the basket guy. He still can, but not nearly as efficient or not nearly as much as he once did. If you notice now, LeBron shoot the three. He still can play with his back to the post. He still a turn over that right shoulder and let the thing go.
He's still top 10 fast break.
But
that's crazy.
Yes, and he led in fourth quarter score.
That's wild.
And you're 22.
Crazy.
No, 22. Yeah, because he's a 21. Was it 21 time All-Star? Yeah, 21 time. So you're right. But the question is, Karan, here's the question. In building this team out, LeBron and Luka, they're similar, but Luka wants lob threats.
Yeah, if you're LeBron, yeah, you can play at the same level for many years, but again, it just takes a toll on him mentally if he's going to be bounced out every single season in the first round. So it is what it is when it comes to that. He added a three-point game to his bag, which is cool, but he's not a reliable three-point shooter. He has a lot of work to do in order to make 40% for multiple years, and he doesn't really have too much years left. So yeah, he's kind of ending his career out being a respectable three-point shooter, but when it counts the most in that fourth quarter, is he going to be able to make that shot? A lot of people, they're not really thinking about that to that same magnitude. Yeah, it looks good on paper when he has 4 or 5 threes during the regular season, but he's nowhere to be found in the playoffs.
LeBron wants spacing in three-point shooters. So how do you build a team? Because it seemed like Mark Williams would have been a great, because I knew they were in trouble. They really didn't have a big. Because now you're only playing Jackson Hayes 10, 15 minutes. Now you go Rui and LeBron, one's playing the 4, the other's playing the 5. You got no rim protection. You got no help side defense. And really, Luka, first dribble, they're going to get by Luka either the first or the second dribble. AR isn't much better. LeBron is in year 22, so we can't expect him to sit in the chair. So they really, Vanderbilt, when you got Vanderbilt, he's a good defender, but you're really playing 4-on-5 on the offensive end. Finney-Smith, he can have some offense, but he's so inconsistent, so up and down. So how does Rob go about building this team to make everybody happy and best put this team in position to compete for a championship?
Yeah, Mark Williams would have been a great addition to this team. I still want to know why he failed that physical, or why the Lakers deemed that he didn't pass the physical. But every other player can get traded. Anthony Davis and Luka, that trade. Wasn't Luka hurt? How did he pass the physical? So something going on with the whole Mark Williams situation with Dalton Connect. But if they had the opportunity to maybe explore that trade in the offseason, I think they should look into that. Mark Williams could be that deciding factor. He's not an Anthony Davis offensively, but defensively, height and just strength, he can compete. He can compete in the Western Conference, be that big body that the Lakers need, be that lob threat that Luka needs. So they may want to try to see what they can do and maybe try to get Mark Williams away from the Charlotte Hornets.
Reason why he left Craig's dinner spot with all those sheets of paper in that folder. You know what I mean? Like he's looking at every roster spot and looking at all the guys that's possibly available in the market and someone that you can, add on that can be an asset to that organization. You're going to have a lob threat, for Luka. And many people say that, a lob threat is going to take away the real estate. It actually not, because it's going to put a lot of pressure on the rim, and that's going to put the weak side guy always tagging and trying to take away the dunk, and that's going to open up the 2-on-1 on the backside of the court. So that's exactly what they need. And then you talked about perimeter defense. I thought Hachimura did a great job, but there's always room for improvement. And, and the challenge for Luka going into, the summer, which it seems to be very potent, is just, working on his conditioning, working on being the best possible version of himself, and trying to move the needle on the defensive end of the floor so you're not responsible for so many advantage situations. And I think he's going to take that challenge. People hear the whispers, as coaches, as a former player, it's truth in every joke. When people tell you about, some of the things you can do better on the defensive end of the floor, or you're not sharing the ball, you turnover prone, whatever the case may be, you go back to the lab, and when you're working on your craft with your player development people in the pods, you like, all right, I got to sharpen the tools a little differently going into the season. So I'm ready for this. So I think he's just going to be a lot better. And, I think the team is going to be a force to be reckoned with. I'm looking forward to seeing them next year.
Yeah, hopefully the Lakers have a great offseason. This is going to be a make or break offseason for the Lakers. LeBron going in, year 23? How's he going to pan out? Is Luka going to get in shape? That's going to be another deciding factor. Are they going to get that lob threat for Luka? Get that real center? That's something the Lakers really need to do. They got to bolster this roster and really, patch up those holes and try to get better as a team. But as far as LeBron James coming back this season, all reports are saying he'll be back. He's willing to take a pay cut. As far as LeBron James after next season staying around, if he wants to play with Bryce or against Bryce, he's going to have to at least play in the 2026 season. So don't be surprised if LeBron James sticks around for another 2 or 3 years.